Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, Retired Guy's Garage. So, what are we working on today? Well, we're working on the Trans Am today. So, after I did all the work to it, tune up, blah, 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 yada, 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 you know what was done to it. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, trust me, I'll get them up soon. Anywho, still just wasn't happy with the way it was running. Seemed like it had a miss in it. Was stuttering a little bit. I don't know. Just didn't seem to be running real well. So my thought was I pulled the plugs back out of it. They all looked fine. So my thought was maybe from it sitting all that time, year and a half from it sitting, maybe one of the injectors got plugged up. So I'm going to put a set of injectors in it today, and I kind of jumped the gun and didn't video the first part of this, taking it apart. However, we've got a fix for that. We can fix it. In changing out the injectors, or in an attempt to change out the injectors, there are these little clips. These little clips. Do you know how much that little clip is right there? If you were to buy that aftermarket, each one of those little clips is $18. You heard that right, $18. So multiply 18 times 8, whatever that is expensive. I don't know how much that is. I can't do math. 18 times 8, $100, right? Ish. 18 times 8, 8 times 6. Well, 8 times 20 would be 160. So just shy of $160 for 8 of those clips. That's absurd. So I found a guy in Tennessee, nice gentleman in Tennessee, that had an entire intake manifold that he was selling with the injector rail on it. Guess what it has? The clips I need. I paid $100 for the whole intake and got a nice cast elbow, which I'm told by people is the better way to go when you're doing an aftermarket air intake. Apparently these, unless you get the oval ones that are already oval shaped, they don't seal well on the throttle body. I didn't know that when I bought it, but here we are. But and in my infinite wisdom, I lost one of the clips. Couldn't find it. So I could have bought one, sure. But did I want to do that? Probably not, because I got the air intake elbow too. So I've got 8 of them, and I didn't know how to take them off when I started this project. Never done these before, so I kind of bent a few of them up trying to get them off. So before I realized how they came off. So anyway, lesson learned. But we'll show you the correct way to take them off when we take them off the new/used intake manifold. So. Bought a set of Bosch injectors. These are allegedly OEM replacements. However, they're much smaller in stature than the OEMs. So we'll see if this is going to work. I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, those clips are very important because they set the depth on the injector rail for where these are supposed to sit in the injector rail. So the depth on the injector rail is important, where they sit, how far they sit in the injector rail. And then they just kind of drop into the intake manifold. So we'll get some lubrication on the bottom side so that they just drop real nicely into the intake manifold. So, all right, let me put you on pause for just a second. Got these, like I said, these are Bosch injectors. They are allegedly an OEM replacement. Like I said, they're much smaller than the OEMs, so we'll see what happens. But I got them on Amazon. I got the whole set for, all 8 of them for $60 some, I think, something like that. But anyway, we'll see what happens when we get them in. But I'm gonna put you on pause for just a second. We'll flip you around and we'll get you a peek at this intake that we're taking the parts off of, and I'll show you how to change your injector. Stay with me. There's 4 bolts that hold the intake into the plenum. I've already removed those because they were difficult, and we'll leave it at that. So remember, of course, that you're not going to have to fight with, I'm not going to have to fight with fuel lines or anything like that. Basically, all I did on that, on the Trans Am manifolds, I just kind of popped up the front. And I was able to wiggle the injectors out. So just kind of take a screwdriver, wiggle it in here a little bit. And I'll show you what those clips do here in just a second. Go. There we go. All right. Remember, I would not be able to pull off the entire fuel. I can't pull off the entire fuel rail on the car because it's still attached to the fuel lines. But flip this around so you can kind of see it, but you see where these clips slide on this fuel rail. Man, I think this guy was running some pretty good gas in this car. Holy cow. They slide on this fuel rail, and I did not know that at the time. I was taking it apart. These are each one of the fuel injectors, so you basically just slide this clip back off the fuel injector. Might need the help of a screwdriver, and this fuel injector pops right out of the rail. Very simple. Plenty of room to do it in the car. Plenty of room. So, like I said, this is what sets the depth for how far the injector goes into the fuel rail. And basically, all you're going to do is once you get these clips, all these clips popped off, the injectors, you're going to remove all the injectors, and then start at the back side. Put in the very back fuel injector first. Put in the very back fuel injector first, clip it in, and then work your way back down. So you'll just pull these clips out, pull the injectors out, put in your new injectors to the correct depth, and then slide these clips on from this end one by one. Pretty simple. So, all right. And that's all there is to it. And pop your injector out, which these are dry, so that's going to be a little bit tougher. There we go. All right, one thing I did notice on the OEM injectors, not only on this one but on the car too, the fuel O-rings, the upper O-ring seals that are in the fuel rail, they stay in the fuel rail for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. So just be aware of that. If you're changing injectors, make sure you pop these upper O-rings out of the O-rings out of the upper fuel rail. All right. Excuse me. All right. So it's just basically lather, rinse, repeat for the rest of it. So let me get the rest of these clips off that I need, and we'll bring you back and show you how to put them in. Stick with me. I know it's going to be kind of tough to see it on video, but I've got that back injector in. Like I said, start at the back because you're going to have to slide those things all the way back. Slide each one of the clips back, clip it, and then do the next one. All right. I'll bring you back as soon as I get to the front one. You'll be able to see it a lot better. It's really difficult to see back there, so I'll bring you back when I get to this front one. We'll show you what it looks like from there. Be right back. All right, as you can see, got the 3 in there. I'm going to put this very front one in just to show you how it's done. So I'll just take a little bit of silicone spray, spray it on the O-ring. Makes it easier to move it around. Just take it, and you're going to want to make sure that this top groove is just barely poking out of the back of the bottom of the fuel rail, because then this clip will slide along the fuel rail and clip into there and keep that injector from going anywhere, apparently, I guess. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but that's what it is. It does set the depth though, so just kind of stick her in there, wiggle it around a little bit. Like I said, you're going to have to adjust it to get this clip in. All right, I'll take them and I'll twist them all the way to one side after I get them in. So don't leave them straight this way. I'll take them and twist them a little bit of a turn. And then I'll push the fuel injector up so that the clip is up against the bottom of the fuel rail. That's it. And then when I'm ready to put the fuel rail in, we'll bring it back. But just lather, rinse, repeat for the other side, and then it'll be time to put the fuel rail back in. Stick with me, I'll be right back. Got all the injectors in. They're all lined up. Now, so the biggest thing is when you're popping these injectors back into the intake, just make sure they're lined up and, you know, fairly in line with where they need to be. That way you don't take the chance on damaging the O-rings, and then just kind of work them down into place. Might need to give them a little tap. And I'm probably going to need to get a little hammer back. And maybe that did it. Yep, that went in. All right. And then you just want to take your 4 bolts. Probably gonna have to line them up. There we go. To hold the fuel rail to the intake, to the plenum. Tighten them up. And of course, one thing I did fail to mention, and I should have, is of course you're gonna have to disconnect the wiring harness from your injectors. But luckily, GM was thinking ahead, and they actually marked what cylinder they go to in case you forget, because that would never happen to me. So how to get these off, how to get these wires off, you'll be able to, there's a little silver spring clip on here. It seems counterintuitive to what you're used to. Normally you're used to pulling these clips off, but these you don't. Just push them in toward the injector. They'll spread apart, and you can pop them. The spring clip will pop up, will spread apart on the back side, and you'll be able to get them right off. So that's it. I'm just going to hook up some wires. Vacuum lines that I've disconnected, 1 or 2 vacuum lines that I've disconnected, I think, and it's going to be time to fire this thing up and see if it did any good. The other thing, I think I went over it, I think I showed you in the beginning of the video, but the new elbow, cast elbow that came in, we talked about it in the beginning of the video, that I got with the intake manifold, so we're going to go ahead and put that in as well. It does not have a vacuum line attachment on it, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm going to figure it out. Interesting. Stick with me. We'll be right back. And the final step is get it fired up and make sure it's not leaking. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this video. I did want to, I don't know if you can see it or not, let me get you spun in here real quick. So, the other thing is, I always show this. Alright, So you remember this, all the fitment issues I was having with the cold case radiator, of course. The original radiator hold down clamp bracket, whatever you want to call it, obviously didn't fit anymore because the radiator is set way back further than it was, and it just didn't fit. So I actually made this myself. Those of you that want to yell at me about my welding, don't even bother. I know I'm not a welder by any means. I don't claim to be, and I don't even play one on television or YouTube, as the case may be. But I actually did make this by myself. Use my my Harbor Freight gas welder and welded this thing up by myself, and it's working out great. I didn't go all the way over the radiator because I just didn't think it was necessary. The AC condenser is holding the radiator in these brackets on all four corners. So hold it on. I put padding underneath this so that it doesn't rub on the weather strip padding underneath this, so it doesn't rub on the condenser. And I also put padding underneath the mass airflow sensor so it doesn't rub on the radiator. So, but that's it. All right, let's get this thing wrapped up, and we'll call it a day. Stick with me. Last thing I'm going to do is, and I'll do this off camera because you will have already seen the video on how to put that aftermarket cold air intake in. So I'll put this on off camera. I've got to figure out how to hook up that vacuum line. There's a port here, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, so I'm going to have to work on that. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you learned something. So changing injectors, I know it sounds like a daunting task, but in all reality, it's really not a bad job. I mean, a handful of hand tools, a couple sockets, 5/16, 10 millimeter, some brute strength to get the injectors in, and some penetrating silicone spray. And yeah, it wasn't a bad job at all. So all in all, I would say it took me, probably really in truth, probably took me about an hour or hour and a half to do it. So not a bad job at all. The other thing I meant to tell you is look for your Schrader valve that will release fuel pressure before you start that job. And it's just like a valve stem on a tire. Just push down the center of it. There's a valve core in there. That'll release fuel pressure. It'll make a little bit of a mess, and also open your gas cap. That helps too. Anyhow, that's going to do it for this video. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. It means more than you'll ever know. And until the next video comes out, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You know what to do. Most importantly, subscribe. I'm not going to leave that out. And if you want any merchandise, all the information is at the back of the video. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Y'all be safe and take care. Bye for now.